Thankfully, Naruto took after his parents and had a caring teacher in Iruka-sensei who was a positive role model for the young shinobi. And thanks to those factors, Naruto grew up into the person that we know and love, embodying the values of friendship and teamwork. Plus, it also helped that he's a reincarnation of a really nice guy. But what if Naruto hadn't had that great influence in his life? After all, Iruka's own parents were killed by the nine-tailed fox that lives inside Naruto, and so he had every reason to despise Naruto just like everyone else in the village, leading Naruto to go down a very dark path similar to Sasuke. So how would the world of Naruto look different if our hero had become a villain? What if Naruto had joined the Akatsuki? Well, first off, we have a pretty good idea of what happens when a kid with the power of a tailed beast is completely maladjusted and has a horrible upbringing. Just take a look at Gara here. When we first meet him, he is contrasted with Naruto because their stories are so similar. Both of them are jinchuriki, the term used for someone who has a tailed beast sealed inside of them. Both of them had a very lonely and very painful childhood. However, Gara did lack a relationship like the one that Naruto had with Iruka-sensei. Instead, Gara had a relationship with his uncle 𝙻𝚎𝚐𝚗𝚗𝚍. The two were very close, but 𝙻𝚎𝚐𝚗𝚗𝚍 was ordered by Gara's own father to assassinate him. And so after being betrayed by the only person that he ever loved, Gara fell deeper into darkness, hatred, and violence. Honestly, can't really blame him. I think I'd do the same if my own uncle tried to assassinate me on the orders of my father. However, there's one major difference. Gara was still used as a pawn and weapon by the Hidden Sand Village. Naruto's powers, though, were restricted at all costs by the Hidden Leaf Village. The nine-tailed beast Kurama was simply too powerful to contain. After all, as everyone knows, the more tails you have, the stronger you are. And so instead of being able to use these powers for good, Naruto tapping into the beast's chakra risked unleashing the nine-tailed fox to attack the village once again. And so this time, when Orochimaru and the Sand Village attacked the Hidden Leaf during the chunin exams, things would play out extremely differently. Because in Naruto, as we know, the Sand Village sent their greatest weapon, Gara, to attack the Hidden Leaf in order to improve their own economic conditions. I mean, they could have just instituted a higher capital gains tax, but go off, I guess. So thankfully, Naruto was there to go head-to-head with Gara, eventually causing the fellow jinchuriki to have a change of heart. In our timeline, though, Naruto won't be the one to influence Gara, it will be the other way around. In this case, the Hidden Leaf Yonin such as Kakashi and Guy will ultimately be able to stave off Gara's attack, even though he has the power of Shukaku on his side. And this is of course especially true if Jiraiya, one of the legendary Sannin, gets involved in the fight as well. After all, the natural weakness of sand is toads, obviously. However, Naruto will see how powerful Gara is when he utilizes the strength of the beast within him. And he will see just how feared he is by his own village and siblings. He'll see how the Sand Village will bend to his will in order to avoid angering Gara. And so knowing that he can't be loved by the citizens of Konoha, Naruto might take another path here, being feared. He'll start becoming much more aggressive towards his fellow classmates and villagers and won't fear tapping more recklessly into Kuruma's chakra to enhance his own strength. And really the only danger is Kurama convincing Naruto to undo the seal and unleash the beast. However, I'm going to say that he won't give into Kurama's temptation to release him because Naruto will want to control that power all for himself. And so in our new timeline, instead of staying in the Hidden Leaf Village as a member of Team 7, Naruto will actually be pushed away. After being rejected by the citizens of the village, he'll abandon his home and run away, and in an inversion of the Sasuke rescue arc, we can still see these two fated rivals compete against each other once again. And so this time, instead of eyeing Sasuke for his replacement body, this time Orochimaru could seek out Naruto. Yeah, Sasuke has the Sharingan, but it's clear that Orochimaru would be very interested in the immense powers of Kurama. And so this time, the Konoha shinobi would try to retrieve Naruto from the Sound 4, leading to a familiar showdown between Naruto and Sasuke. However, there are two differences this time. Firstly, Sasuke would be missing his curse mark, and on top of that, Naruto would be way more willing to tap into Kuruma's chakra and be way more aggressive. And therefore, I think Naruto would absolutely stomp Sasuke in their battle this time. However, just like Sasuke, Naruto would soon realize that he's being used by Orochimaru and would abandon his side in order to achieve his own goals. And it just so happens too that there is an organization that's specifically on the lookout for jinchuriki. That's of course the Akatsuki. And Naruto would already be somewhat aware of this organization too. First, Orochimaru was temporarily aligned with the group, and more importantly, he had encountered Itachi and Kisame previously as well. And since Naruto's biggest rival in Konoha was Sasuke, it makes sense that Naruto might join up with Itachi. After all, the enemy of your enemy is your friend. And for Naruto, the Akatsuki would allow him to enact his revenge against the Hidden Leaf village, who had treated him very poorly throughout his entire life. Now, as you might remember, the Akatsuki organization was originally formed to promote peace in the shinobi world, and in a very twisted way, that's actually still the ultimate goal of it when we meet it in the story. It's just that they're like super bad at it, considering that their whole recruitment process is based on how evil the candidates are. They're basically working as mercenaries for various villages in order to gain wealth, but they're also in the business of collecting tailed beasts. Why? Well, that's because the tailed beasts are basically the ultimate weapon in the Naruto world. They're the equivalent to weapons of mass destruction. Unleashing a tailed beast on a village might well be like launching a nuclear warhead. And so basically, the leader of the Akatsuki, Nagato, wants to obtain each of the tailed beasts so that he can conquer all of the world's villages and stop them from engaging in wars with one another by force. And in Shippuden, we see that the Akatsuki come into focus as the main antagonists of the series. They target the jinchuriki within each of the villages in order to steal their tailed beast chakra. For example, Deidara captures Gara, and the Akatsuki steal his tailed beast, killing the newly crowned Kazekage. Thankfully, Grandma Chiyo was able to sacrifice her life to resurrect Gara, but it was a very close call with a hint of Deus Ex Machina, I guess. However, in this timeline, Gara likely won't have gone down so easily. Since Naruto never talked no jutsu to him after the chunin exams, Gara would still be very much filled with the violence and malice, giving him more of an advantage against Deidara. And so during the battle in the real series, Gara has to use up a lot of his sand and chakra in order to save the village from one of Deidara's massive explosions. But in this timeline, he'd have no reason to care about saving the villagers and would be able to dedicate his full strength to fighting the explosive clay user. But luckily, the Akatsuki would have a trick up their sleeve, which is their new member, Naruto Uzumaki. The only question is, when Naruto knocked on the Akatsuki door looking to join, why wouldn't their leader Nagato simply take his tailed beast right then and there? Well, first off, there is the fact that Naruto is Nagato's distant cousin and a fellow member of the Uzumaki clan. But we also have a feeling that Nagato isn't the type to get too sentimental about family ties here. Also, more important is the fact that Naruto harnesses the power of the Nine Tails. Remember, the more tails a beast has, the more powerful it is, which means Naruto has more chakra potential than any other of the Jinchuriki. So if Naruto was willing to join the organization, he's practically tailor-made for hunting down the remaining ones. The only question really is, would Naruto realize the natural endpoint, which was of course that after the rest of the tailed beasts were captured, they would simply do the same to him? Well, as we all know, Naruto is not the smartest, although there's also an argument to be made that if he was working with the Akatsuki anyways, they could still use his beast as a weapon of mass destruction without having to strip it from him physically. So Nagato's plan could still work, though of course we also have to consider Tobi's plans too, and Madara's plan, and so on and so forth, but we'll save that for a little bit later. Therefore, where Deidara would likely fall against a still evil Gara, Naruto would succeed. The only question is, would they still strip Gara of the tailed beast, or would the organization just recruit Gara as well in this timeline? I mean, just like Naruto, Gara would want revenge against his village and would thrive in an organization like the Akatsuki that would allow him to channel all of his violent impulses into mercenary missions. And so with Gara and Naruto as the newest team of the Akatsuki, taking out the remaining Jinchuriki would be pretty much a piece of cake. Most of them were easily obtained by the Akatsuki as they existed, therefore with the strength of 2 additional Jinchuriki on their side, they'd have no problem collecting all of the tailed beasts. Well, all of the tailed beasts except one, that is. What they wouldn't have considered is Killer B, of course. Now, Killer B, the right-hand man to the Raikage, is known as a perfect Jinchuriki. Instead of being at odds with the powers inside of him, he has an actual relationship with the 8-tailed beast, Yuki. Instead of vying for power and control with the monster, the two can actually work in sync together to become even stronger. He can even undergo a massive tailed beast transformation. It is unknown whether the tailed beast chakra has any effects on his rap skills though. However, even with such great control over the 8-tails though, it's very unlikely that he could actually contend with all of the members of the Akatsuki. Even with without complete control over Kurama, Naruto's chakra is overwhelming and he'd have backup from the likes of Gara, Itachi, Pain, and other absolute powerhouses. And so, with Naruto as an Akatsuki member, this criminal organization would achieve their goal of capturing every tailed beast. However, Nagato didn't account for the traitor in their midst. Tobi, aka Obito Uchiha, as well as Black Zetsu have been manipulating things behind the scenes for ages, even before the Akatsuki were even formed. And while Nagato may have been content with Gara and Naruto just utilizing their tailed beast as jinchuriki, that wouldn't work for Tobi's plan. You see, his goal was to reunite all of the 9-tailed beasts into their original form, the immensely powerful 10 tails. And though it would be a true battle, Tobi and the Zetsus would likely be able to use deception to catch Gara and or Naruto individually off guard in order to capture their beasts. And so with these, Tobi would be able to resurrect Madara, but in turn Kaguya Otsutsuki would also be summoned as well. And whereas in the original series, Naruto and Sasuke were able to combine their powers in order to barely overcome this threat to the planet, Sasuke would be the last line of defense against the infinite Tsukuyomi and the harvesting of all humans into a chakra food for the Otsutsuki's enjoyment. So what if Naruto had joined the Akatsuki? Well, it wouldn't be good. In fact, Naruto joining would spell the destruction of the entire shinobi world. So remember to thank a teacher today, because without Iruka Sensei, it would have been the end of the world. Also, if you're interested in One Piece as well, you can check out what would have happened if Luffy had become a Marine right here. Thanks for watching.